The centre has moved the Supreme Court against order releasing 6 convicts in Rajiv Gandhi assassination case. Centre has said that the Supreme Court order in this case is legally flawed. The remission passed without affording it an adequate opportunity for hearing. The government has sought an approval to argue against the release of these killers. Congress has responded to the Supreme Court's decision, calling it now as a case of belated wisdom that is dawning. Hitting out at the BJP, party's General Secretary K.C. Venugopal is questioning what's the point in locking the door after the horse has bolted. Remember, the top court last week ordered the release of all 6 convicts, including Nalini Sriharan, who's been serving life imprisonment in connection with the assassination of then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. Let's quickly go across to India Today's legal correspondent Anisha Mathur today morning. Anisha, what does this mean that the union government has challenged the order of release by the top court? How does that really progress and a part of a procedure?
Well, we'll have to see how it progresses, but Pooja, there are very serious issues that have been raised by this review application that has been filed by the central government. Remember, last week when the Supreme Court had passed this order releasing all 6 convicts, a lot of controversy had broken out, and now the centre in its review petition has raised 3 main points. One, that the Supreme Court could not have passed this kind of an order without hearing the central government, because remember that the order was passed on the first day of hearing itself without so much as issuing notice to the centre or giving them an opportunity to respond. Secondly, what the government has told the court is that 4 of these convicts, Santhan, Murugan, Jayakumar and Robert Pius, are not Indian citizens, they are Sri Lankan citizens. So this order also has international relations aspects that the court could not have taken into account when it passed this order. Thirdly, what they have said is that these convicts could not have been held at par with A.G. Perarivalan, whose release was ordered by the Supreme Court back in May of this year, because the circumstances under which he had been convicted, the facts and circumstances of his case were slightly different from the facts of the cases of these 6 convicts. While they are convicted in the same particular case, Perarivalan was 19 years old at the time of the incident and was an Indian citizen, which is not the case for these particular convicts. So we'll have to see when the court takes up this issue. Of course, the centre has been criticized by the Congress government. A lot of politics has played out between the Congress, BJP and the DMK on this entire issue over the last week and the last few months about the release of these convicts.
And there has been a lot of outrage and questions being raised about how can these convicts be released in the first place. Remember, they had killed and were part of the conspiracy to have assassinated the then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. Thank you so much, Anisha. Keep tracking the latest.